how many of you have heard of the polka? How many of you have heard of the polska? Less famous. Polkas, of course, come from Germany. Polskas come from Germany.
But I think they're both named after Poland. This is a tune that I wrote from based on a tradition from Sweden, which is called the polska. It's a type of dance and a type of tune that accompanies this dance. And I wrote this in the finals week while I was studying jazz harmony at Berkeley. And it's called Polska for a Discombobulated Lady. It's an American traditional ballad. It's called Come All Ye Fair and Tender Ladies. And it's one of those songs that has like many different versions of the lyrics, of the melodies. You'll hear verses from this song in other songs all over the place. But these are the verses and lyrics that I know. And I learned it from a pal of mine back in Vancouver, BC, which is where I'm from. So the American folk traditions have reached us out there out west.
Come all ye fair and tender ladies, take warning how you court young men. They're like the stars of a summer's morning. First they'll appear and then they're gone. If I had known before I courted, I never would have courted love. I'd have locked my heart in a box of gold and fastened it up with a silver pin. I wish I were a little swallow and I had wings so I could fly. I'd fly away to my false true lover, and when he speaks, I would be by. But I am no little swallow. I have no wings, nor can I fly. So I'll sit right here and weep in sorrow and try to pass my troubles by. Do you remember our days of courting, when your head lay upon my breast? You could make me believe with the falling of your arm that the sun rose in the west. Come all ye fair and tender ladies, take warning how you court young men. They're like this morning. First they'll appear, and then they're gone.
I'm going to play this instrument that's called an octave mandolin. People sometimes get confused about what it is, but the most important thing about it is that it's not a guitar. It's like a big mandolin, I guess is what I would call it. It's one octave lower than the regular mandolin. Yeah, here we go. The Ebullience of Rocks.
consists of two songs. One is Carolina Avenue, which is a song written by this guy. And then the next song, and then he wrote it in a sort of a, you know, like that ballad, kind of a, I guess, ballad style. And we realized that it sounded a lot, the vibe of that tune sounded a lot like a lot of Andean music. Because it has a tum 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 tum, and that tum 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 is a very common part of something called a huayno, which is a form of music from the Andes, from the mountain of the Andes, which are very long and very big. And we found that maybe mountain people tend to have more in common with other mountain people than with the people not in the mountains. Mm-hmm. So this song is like an experiment of like, this medley is an experiment of like two things that you think wouldn't have anything to do with each other, but they go together really well. And the huayno that we play after Carolina Avenue is called Plantita de Alelí, which means little plant of alelí. And, you know, it's about a plant of alelí. a song. I wrote it inspired on a Brazilian rhythm of music, which, like, if you ask us later too, you know, every song has sort of a different rhythm from a different place and a different thing that we're trying to borrow from. And the style of the music comes from the north of Brazil, like Cabocla did way back when, but from another part, and this is called baião. And baião is part of a family of music called forró, and forró has everything. It has like fast, slow, and 2 and 3, with partners, with no partners, you know, light, dark. And I wrote this tune, and it has I picture it almost like a journey. It has like a traveling vibe to it. So I called it The Traveler. And then I was like, no, I'm going to make it cooler. I'm going to translate The Traveler to Portuguese, because that's what they speak in Brazil. So it's called O Nômade, which means the nomad instead of the traveler. So it's the unofficial band theme song.
Norte claro y sur oscuro, aguacero viene seguro, de puntilla para que no duela. Mi recuerdo trae la voz de abuela, los años nos hacen libres o prisioneros. Vaso medio vacío, también está medio lleno. La vida es una ventana o un basurero, según el punto de vista que defina el pasajero. Y en el agua nos anuncia el trueno, parpadeando se derrama el cielo. La mano de mi abuelita me lleva entre el aguacero hacia una ciudad distinta, donde se vivió sin miedo, sin rejas en las ventanas, sicarios o por dioseros, ni arañas haciendo nidos en nuestra ilusión y sueños. Y en el agua creer que puedo. Claro oscuro, gris silencio, esperanza, hoja del viento, huele a agua y hoy de nuevo nuestro barrio respira cielo. Y en el agua, aguacero, abuelita.
This is a joropo. This is sort of what this instrument was made to play, so you can finally hear it and be like, oh, okay, it doesn't
In
suck.
context,
You know?
yeah.
It's not just like a bad ukulele. And I wrote this in the style of joropo oriental, which means oriental joropo, which always sounds weird in English. But the Orient of Venezuela is just the northeast, and it's fishermen communities and a lot of beach and a lot of water, and water hitting the shore and being super loud, and so it creates the loudest, most annoying people in the world. We hate them, but we love their music and their food. Everything's fried and everything kills you. They drink a lot, they eat a lot of fried food, they die at 45, but they've lived very full lives, you know, short but full. And I wrote this tune inspired by that music, which basically we're gonna do a song, and you know, you're gonna hear the song twice, and then after the song ends, we're gonna keep playing this loop, and like we're just gonna go crazy. And if you don't know what's going on, you're in the right place. Let it happen. Just let it course through you, and let it take you somewhere else. And it's called Pa que baile Luis, which means so that Luis may dance. I was gonna call it Pa que baile Luis, and Luis is a very famous name. It's a very common name. But then, what's almost Luis? Luis. And Louise is the name of Ethan's wife, who's also a musician and fiddler, Louise Dickin, and she's Scottish. And I just thought it was really funny, the idea of like a Scots person trying to dance joropo, because they don't have anything like that.
It is hilarious.
So, you know, she has, you know, she's grown to like it, I think. And yeah, this is Pa que baile Luis, also on the upcoming album, to be named later. Anyway, thank y'all for coming here. 1, 2, 3.
como querer apagar